Welcome to Fight Scene Friday. I'm Asten Regis, and today we're going to talk about the Batman fight scene from Batman vs Superman, the warehouse fight. Oh my god, I love this fight scene. It's so good on so many levels. In fact, to me, it was the best part of Batman vs Superman. I just love that fight scene. I know the film, it was a little disappointing. I didn't dislike it as much as most people. Like, I wasn't like thrilled by the film. I was slightly disappointed. I was expecting more. But I loved Ben Affleck's portrayal of Batman in this movie. I felt that this, for me, is the best portrayal of Batman. The best that's been done on film. He's dark, he's gritty, you could feel the anger, you know, he portrayed Batman, I think, how Batman should be portrayed. But Christian Bale did a great job, obviously, in the Dark Knight trilogy. Those films are brilliant, and they are the best Batman films. But I feel like Ben Affleck's portrayal in this movie was just brilliant. I knew he was going to be a good fit for Batman. You could tell as well with the fighting, like, of course, we're going to talk about the fighting, the martial arts, the fight scene, and I felt like you could feel his rage while he was fighting. And I was watching a documentary behind the scenes for Batman vs Superman, and I remember the fight choreographers talking about how they wanted Batman to be a lot more brutish. Obviously, Ben Affleck put on a lot of muscle. They wanted him to be more built like a UFC fighter, you know, an MMA fighter. They show elements of that in his fighting. Like, there's a moment where he's grounding and pounding one of the criminals. Just his the way he throws people as well. You can see Batman's sophistication in fighting. You see his ability to go from throws to wrist locks to, you know, a bit of Muay Thai, a bit of boxing. You know, you see a lot of that in there. So, you know, even a suplex, so a bit of wrestling in there as well. He performs a lot of different movements, which shows his training. And obviously, you see the power of the suit. You know, they don't necessarily explain all the things that the suit can do, because we already know that as the audience. We've already seen many Batman movies, and even if you haven't, it's still shown in the fight that the suit has a lot of durability, even though it doesn't look like it does, because they went back to kind of that plain kind of look, that Dark Knight Returns kind of look to Batman, which I really like. When the criminals, when they're shooting at him, obviously you see the sparks from the bullets flying off the suit. When they get the knives and they're trying to stab him and slash him, you see the sparks fly off the suit as well. There's even a point where this guy, one of the criminals, one of the henchmen, fires when Batman's grounding and pounding the guy. The criminal comes up to him and shoots him in the head a couple times, you know. And even you hear Batman scream a little. He's like, oh, he grunts a little bit, so he's still feeling the ring of the bullets. But because the cow's obviously bulletproof, you see it, the bullets bouncing off the cow, you know, and he's able to disarm the guy and take him down. But I love the fact that, again, it shows the suit's durability, what Batman's able to do, but also he's not afraid. The thing I love about it, they weren't afraid to show him getting hurt. You know, he gets taken down, he gets stabbed, you know, you know, he gets stabbed, he gets hit. I love that scene where the guys take him down, use his cape to take him down. So again, it's showing like the weaknesses of the suit, you know, having a cape, even though it's practical for him to use as a glider, in a fight scene like that, it's not necessarily as useful, especially in close quarters. So obviously the criminals are not stupid, and I like the fact that they showed that the henchmen weren't stupid. They were quite sophisticated if you look at what they do to Batman when they fight. You know, one of them grabs him, pulls him down, another guy stabs him, you know what I mean? So he's still getting hurt, he's still getting taken down, you know? It's not a fair fight. There's many of them and one of him, and they're gonna fight dirty. So I love his reaction. He's able to kick one guy, knee the other guy, and he takes out the blade. And then he grabs the guy, the same guy stabs him in the shoulder, and then he stabs him right in the shoulder. And you see even Ben Affleck's, because obviously you can't see his eyes, but you can see his eyes through the cowl, but you see his facial expression when he grabs the guy and he's like, oh, you know, there's so much rage there. And that's who Bruce Wayne is. Bruce Wayne is really Batman, you know. The Bruce Wayne persona that you see is him putting on an act. Who he really is Batman. He's really that guy when he puts on the suit and he goes out and fights the criminals. That's who he truly is. And I felt like that was really portrayed well in this movie. And a lot of people who didn't like the movie did say that they liked Ben Affleck's portrayal of Batman in this movie. again, with this fight scene, I love how it starts. He's coming to rescue Martha, aka Superman's mother. Yeah, we all know the Martha thing. But you see the motivation for him, because obviously when the thing people didn't get about the Martha reference is, it's not, oh, I like you now because we have the same mom. Our moms have the same name. It humanized Superman in his eyes. He saw Superman in the same light as he saw himself. He didn't want another human to lose, or another person, even though he's not human, obviously Superman's not human, but he didn't want another man to lose his mother, and the mother just happened to have the same name, a name that's really obviously a part of Bruce Wayne's rage. You know, his mother was killed, his mother and father were killed, so he still has that rage. That rage is driving him. So when Superman said save Martha, it just triggered in his mind his pain point. So when Lois says it's his mother's name and his mother's in danger, it almost gave him a point of redemption, of saying, well, okay, I can save this mother when I wasn't able to save my mother when I was a little boy. So that's what that was really about. It's a more, I think people looked at it to surface level. It's more of a driving force of why he fights, of why he is Batman. It's that pain point of losing his parents, and he doesn't want someone else to lose his mother. So it's like a driving force. And in that fight, you really see Batman's driving force. You know, he really goes all out on the criminals. And it's almost like a fight of redemption, and that's why I emotionally felt this fight when it was happening. You know, you could feel the rage, you could feel the determination, you could feel the purpose of Batman. He's in there and he's gonna get the job done, and whoever's in his way is gonna get their ass kicked. You know, even the way he throws one of the criminals straight into a wall. You know, it's just so I just love the fight scene. But how it starts off in the warehouse, when he comes through the roof from the bottom level, the bottom floor, comes through the roof, he's on top, he's got the gadgets, the magnetic gadgets on the guns to disarm the criminals. So he's disarming them all. Some of them he didn't, and they're still shooting down. So they still think he's below. So they're shooting down, but he's up. I love that. It shows Batman his deception, his kind of ninjutsu skills, his ability to make the criminals think he's one place, but he's in another place. It's that fear that they have of the unknown. Like, where is he? Oh, you know, that's one of Batman's primary fighting tactics, is to kind of be deceptive. The kind of ninjutsu thing where you think you're invisible. And I think from Batman Begins, when he was being trained by Ra's al Ghul, or Ducard, but he was really Ra's al Ghul. When he'd been trained by the League of Shadows, Ra's al Ghul said to him, you know how to disappear, but we will train you to be truly invisible. And he was like, invisible? And then the ninjas came from the shadows. He didn't realise they'd already passed him. So those skills that he learned from the League of Shadows really come into play when he's in his fighting element with the criminals. It's like what they say, men fear what they cannot see. He says that. We're talking about Batman Begins now, but Ducard, aka Ra's al Ghul, says to Bruce Wayne, men fear what they cannot see. And he's obviously taken those concepts from his mentor and he's applied it in his fighting skills and in his fighting style. So that beginning fight where they're all obviously anticipating, they know Batman's coming in the room, the explosion happens on the floor, he comes through the roof without them even realizing it, and even the audience, it's very quick, you know, you might miss it. So they're still shooting down and they're afraid, they don't even know what they're shooting at, they can't even see what they're shooting at, but, you know, they're like, oh, yeah. And he gets them, you know, and from the top, and I love it. He's used the battering ram as well, you know, that's aka Ninja Star. What I love about this fight scene is that we get to see Bruce Wayne's fighting style. We get to see his anger, his emotions, his drive, his determination, and his skill set within the fight. As opposed to The Dark Knight, where, again, Christopher Nolan, great movies, and I like the fact that he was trying to show the confusion in the criminals with the cuts, with the quick cuts, that mysterious thing of what's going on. Can't really see what's happening, but I know something terrible is happening. So that's kind of the perception that the criminals get from Batman, and that was what was shown on screen. But with this fight, it was a lot more clear to see what his abilities really are. you know, why Batman is just like the best. He's the best hero. Like for me, he was my favorite character growing up as a child. Loved reading the Batman comics, and I just love the fact that he's a mortal man. With his knowledge, he was able to become Batman. You know, the same way in Marvel, Iron Man built the Iron Man suit, so he built his way to becoming a superhero. Bruce Wayne utilized his wealth and his resourcefulness to learn all these different martial arts, you know, to learn detective skills, to develop his technology to be able to combat crime, and even to the point, as you obviously see in this movie, of being able to fight Superman, you know, hand to hand. And no one else could do that in fiction. Only Batman. It's only acceptable. We all accept that Batman's able to do that. So, absolutely love this fight scene. If you haven't seen Batman vs Superman, check it out just for this fight scene. Awesome, so good. I'll leave a link in the description to obviously where you can check the film out if you're interested. I love it, and I love this fight scene. So good. Ben Affleck, best Batman so far anyway. Anyway, if you like this video, hit that like button, share, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the Batman warehouse fight scene. What was your favourite moments in the fight? And what were your favourite fights in the movie? Because there were some good fights in this movie. Other good fights with Batman. I really like the fight scene when he's having the dream sequence, the nightmare sequence. I thought that was really good as well. The Batman-Superman fight was okay. I wasn't thrilled with that, but it was a good fight scene. Came a bit too late in the film for me. But let me know what you thought of the fight, and let's have a discussion. Anyway, I'll see you next Friday for another Fight Scene Friday. Peace!